Good evening, guys. I have come back to spell uh, the most useful idea of accounting. Now, what is that? Now, I start with the periodical concept or going concern concept. Since I already spoken regarding going concern concept, once one business is developed, we expect the business to run year after year. And in case of company, during the lifetime of company, new member joins, old member they retires, new investor they comes in, promoters, owners they comes in, they take charge of the company, they run the company. After they pass out or they die, company continues, again new member joining. So under going concern concept, it will run forever. So our main motive is to find out the profit loss or the income for a specific period. So that is why it is being necessary to compute the profit loss segmental time wise. Now what is segmental time wise? We can say business until unless is not over, we cannot compute the profit. So if this idea is applied, then there is a problem. I want to start one business till the business is reached to its end. Profit loss computation become impossible. So in that idea, we say the new investor in case of company or the proprietor of a proprietorship business, they may not willing to put their fund to start up a business. Because why? Because until unless the company is winding up or the business is closed down, profit computation become difficult. So brainstorming into this, what is actually done is the periodicity. Now what is periodicity of accounting? Periodicity of accounting means we split up the life of the business into different part of times, or segment time, a segment of time span or time span of say 3 months or 6 months or say 1 year, we compute the result for that period. Now what is that? In case of company, quarterly declaration of profit loss is compulsory. In case of proprietorship or partnership business, although not compulsory, we do it to appraise like how the business is performing. So computation of profit loss or computations of income, computation of different cost, that become necessary within that frame of time. So we say the segmental time period or say quarterly result or say half yearly result or say annual result. Now also government cannot wait until my business is closed down or business is ended up and profit computed and then the company is charged with the taxation. It's become we can say difficult for the government to run the state, because government also needed some fund which is raised by means of taxations, and government will spend that money as a form of capital expenditure for improvement into the lifestyle of the country as whole. So what is done actually? Profit is computed quarterly, or income ascertained quarterly, expenditure ascertained quarterly. In case of proprietorship, half yearly or annually, and then computation of profits, and then the government we make payment of taxes depending upon the profit portions. The profit is more, earning is more, tax paid is more to the government. If it is less, then we pay the less taxes. If it is negative figure, there is no profit, it is a loss or it is a more expenditure than income earned by the enterprise, then you don't need to pay taxes, because taxation rule says if you want money, if you want profit, then you pay tax to the government out of your profit. That is sharing of profit between the individual or between the company and the government. Now this is periodicity. Now here the complication arises, like we want to compute the profit for a specific period. Now here the again revenue recognition of that period comes into the questions. Now what is revenue recognition? Revenue recognition means when the goods or service rendered or good dispatch or shipment have been made, and substantial part of the goods in terms of payment received or receivable, which has been dispatched already to the buyer, and a significant amount of cash or receivable like bill receivable or other instrument we have received, and it might be the some portion is due to be received. Now under revenue recognitions we have to understand, if my company or my business is providing services, then substantial part of the services already we have rendered to our customer, and significant portion we have either realized in cash or by means of check or by means of bill receivable. Now the bill which has been received now, it might be after some time going to mature. Meaning of that is the amount stated in the bill is my like partially sale amount or revenue amount which have not yet been received in cash. Now that is to be received like in the next quarter. So although we receive next quarter, now again concept of cash and accrual system of accounting, that is again questions. So that part I am coming later on. Here how accurately we determine the profit under segmental or the periodic system. Now periodicity is quarterly, half yearly, annually. Say for each quarter or for each half year, or say in case of simply proprietorship for each year. If we want to compute our income statement properly, then what we need to do? The income for that period, that only to be considered. Income for the next period which has been received now, that is not forming part of the current year income. Like advance received in respect of good to be dispatched after obviously end of my current period, or current, more precisely current accounting period in case of proprietorship. Now that goods to be dispatched later on, but as an advance I have received the amount. Obviously that is not revenue had been earned, but it is earned for the next period. So again that to be separated. So for current period, that is tenure of one account complete accounting year, which generally start on the 1st April and ending on the next 31st March. Now for that period, whatever the profit or whatever the earning or revenue, that is to be considered. Again considered means that is to be very meaningfully considered, so that revenue recognition part exists as well as the expenditure which we have incurred in respect of this period, that is to be again to be taken into consideration after evaluation of different expenditure items. Now some parts which may not be exact, we do it while preparing the profit loss statement on estimated basis. So estimate is if incorrect, then it's become again trouble to determine the exact profit loss. For example, the fixed asset which is being used into the business and there is a diminution in the value of fixed asset, that already I spoken with that portion of cost Reduction in the value of asset we charge by means of depreciation. Now, accuracy, how much depreciation to be charged, that accuracy is needed. Again, bad debt means I sold good to my customer, amount to be realized after some time, but in fact, sometime we find some of our customers, they are unable to pay because of their either winding up of their business, or they are unable to pay for any reason whatsoever. So that portion again become bad of my income portion, which I have already recognized as my income item. So we make certain provision for bad debt, again that to be accurately determined based on your previous year or last few years idea, or few years estimation, or few years result based on those. So provision for bad debt, provision for depreciation, provision for discount allowable to your customer when they pay early, those to be considered accurate. Again, one more part, generally in the business, stock in trade that we charge as a big item of cost of running of business. If we trade it, or raw material with which we do the production and then we sell it to our customer. Now that raw material cost, remember, is always under like conservative doctrine or principle of conservatism, which is always valued at cost or market price, whichever is lower. Now in that regards, when you value of stock at lesser price, that is market price or cost, whichever, in case market price falls, then cost price is not your valuation, market price is the valuation under conservatism. So valuation become less. So that means in this year you are trying to show the less profit, and next year when it is charged as expenditure item, although you expended more, in this year already charged, so less profit, so next year it become more profit. So in this regard we say accounting profit shown by your profit loss statement may not be exact one. So try to remember, we want to compute profit which should be as accurate as possible, but I cannot say that is exact one because of different facts like valuation or closing stock. Similarly, it might affect the valuation of opening stock of this year or next year. If last year valuation was done lower of cost or market price, this year valuation is reduced to that extent. Similarly, provision for depreciation we have made, but it might be next year there is no bad debt, so provision become a profit portion. So this year income charged as taken as profit of the next year. So all this fact which may deviate your actual profit loss may be deviated. So for the purpose of taxation there is a rule like this type of provision we add back, and as per Income Tax Act whatever provision is allowed, then that is deductible. So taxation authority, they are very smart, so they will compute the profit according to that, their own idea. So guys, next time I am coming with a basic concept of cash basis of accounting and accrual basis of accounting, which will give you a more clear idea of accounting. Now this periodicity of accounting, that is, we should not wait till the end of the business, instead we compute profit periodically to find out our liability in respect of taxation to the government, as well as distribution of income of the business to the shareholder or to the owner or to different parties for the purpose of continuation of their own activities, their own expenditure, because they are engaged into the business, they are engaged into this. So without earning in their hand, they cannot continue. So periodicity become necessary, and periodicity of accounting again arise from the going concern concept. So thank you very much guys. Next time I am coming with you for cash basis and accrual basis of accounting, and thereafter I will start with journal entry and posting into the ledger and the how trial balance is prepared. Thank you very much.